Welcome to the first bike edition of Ask Autocar Anything. Now, this is something that Autocar has been doing for decades, where our readers would write into us and we'd answer their questions in the magazine, which became a very big thing on our website. And now we're doing it in video format. The way it works is very simple. You send in your questions, anything two-wheeler related, whether it's something you want to buy or a doubt you have, and we, the bike team, will answer your questions to the best of our capabilities. I am Rishad Modi. Joining me today is Azaman and Dinshaw. And Azaman, why don't you start off with the first question?
Okay, so the first question we have is, I'm planning to buy a twin-cylinder motorcycle under 500cc and was really looking forward to the F450 GS Trophy version. However, it appears to be overpriced and even the spoke wheels are optional. Should I wait for the Aprilia Touareg 457 or are there any other alternatives that are expected to be launched this year or early in 27?
Does he specify twin cylinder?
He wants a twin-cylinder.
Not much of an option, really. I'm the one who's ridden the bike, so maybe so far. It was going to be an expensive bike. We all knew it was going to be an expensive bike. And the trophy version, everything on road, Dinshaw, was what, 7?
Close to 7 lakh.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But an NX 500 is even more money.
No.
And those are the only two options right now.
Pretty much. I mean, you have the Versix X 300, but that is in a segment low.
It just
If
feels
not-
old. It
just
feels
feels
outpaced by today's rivals. Even the single cylinder bikes feel like they're
Yeah,
more
they're a
modern
step-
and giving you the Versus
step above.
is just an old feeling motorcycle, and only buy that bike if you really want that engine. Touareg, we may see it at EICMA this year.
Yeah.
But when's it going to come to India? And the first generations of the Aprilia 457s weren't great in the first year, and they took some time to smooth out issues. So maybe you won't want to go for that bike immediately. Let the motorcycle come in and let's see what it's like. We don't know what it's going to be priced like. It'll probably be more affordable than the BMW, but I
One
don't
hopes.
think I don't think it'll be super affordable.
No,
It's going to
of
be a
course
not.
premium expensive.
Or again, what you could do is probably go for a low variant of the BMW.
The mid variant is the one that makes sense. I think right now that's your best
Best
option.
bet,
If
yeah.
you can find the money, the mid variant of the BMW is the one to go for. But be aware that the running costs will also be high. Next question. Let me see what we've got. Yeah, this is definitely one for Dinshaw. No one in Autocar has spent more time on electric scooters than him with all the range testing that he's done. And these are two scooters you know very well. I need guidance between an Ather Rizta and a TVS iQube. My daily commute is about 45 kilometers. Which is better and what is the real world range?
See, you're starting from a very high baseline when it comes to either the Rista or the iQube. Both are accomplished, proven scooters, and they just work day in, day out like they're supposed to. I personally would lean a little bit more towards the iQube. I am a taller person, so the ergonomics of the iQube are a big thing. If you're looking at range, any of the mid variants of the Rista or the iQube will do the job. The
3
Rista,
kilowatt hour battery packs.
the Rista comes with two battery pack options, 2.9 and 3.7. I think the 2.9, we used to have a long term and it used to routinely give us more than 100 kilometers of range on a single charge. So I think any of the 2.9 variants of the Rista will do. Coming to the iQube, you've got 5 variants and lots of different battery capacities to choose from. The 3.1 or 3.5 will suit your needs just as well, and they're all priced pretty much the same. Honestly, get a test ride, just see how the ergonomics fit you, and either of the two scooters you pick, you can't really go wrong. One important thing that I keep mentioning is that for an electric scooter, you need to make sure that you have a service touch point nearby, because there's not much a roadside mechanic can do if something goes wrong, because everything is sensorized and computer based.
To add to that, the Rizta pretty much stands out if you're someone who wants technology, you like cool gadgets, whereas the iQube is just straightforward twist and go electric scooter. You lived with a Rizta, I've lived with an iQube. They both ran pretty much all right.
Pretty flawless.
I don't think reliability is a problem in either case, and the iQube is the best-selling electric scooter in the country, and you hear almost nothing about it online, which I think is a good thing. It's just running quietly in the background. No one's having problems with it. So go for the iQube if you want a simple, sensible scooter with no frills. Go for the Rizta if you want something special.
Actually, just before we finish this, my dad actually has the base Rista 2.9. I would advise against that version. The thing is, it comes with a very slow charger. It takes about 8 to 9 hours for a full top up. And if you're going to be using your scooter with not a lot of charging duration in between, go for the Rista Z that comes with a charger that's almost double in power, and it significantly reduces your charging time.
That's a good point. What's the next question?
So the next question is, it's from the Neo Retro game. It's a very popular segment. My budget is around 2 lakh rupees and I want a bike for office commuting of about 25 to 30 kilometers daily. I'm looking for a retro style bike with a powerful engine. I want to buy the Hunter, but my brother has the same bike and he wants me to choose something different. I looked at other options like the Meteor, Speed 400, Speed T4, Harley Davidson 440 and Honda CB350, but they are a little bit over my budget. The Yamaha XSR 155's engine is just 155cc and I'm not interested in Java, Yazdi or Classic 350. What other options do I have or should I go for a Triumph 350?
You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So, 2 lakh rupees is a tight budget. And you have said over here that you've looked at other motorcycles like the Meteor, the Speed 400 and the T400. I think the only one that fits in your budget currently is the T4. And that makes the most sense in this among all these motorcycles because the Harley Davidson 440 is again more expensive. And then when you come to the XSR, now I know you're saying that the XSR is just a 155cc engine, but it does punch way above its weight.
Above all of these.
Above all of its weight, yeah. It's actually quicker in acceleration than all of these.
Well, not all of them, maybe
not all,
Triumph,
the 350s. And yeah, again, the Hunter 350, your brother has the bike, so you know what it's like. It's a sweet bike, especially the latest updated model. The suspension is solid, works really well. And yeah, so I think finally you're left with the Speed T4, and I would suggest you go for a test ride on the Yamaha XSR 155 as well.
I think the XSR will surprise you. It is like a David versus Goliath situation. It might be just a 155, but it really does everything well. It's got enough performance, enough fuel economy. If you can make your peace with the right comfort, I think it's a sweet bike.
It kind of depends on where you live. We did the story of the Hunter and the XSR
Yeah.
together. And objectively, on paper, the XSR is better for pretty much everything.
Everywhere.
It's much more fuel efficient. It's noticeably quicker, much lighter. But I wanted to ride the Hunter. I enjoyed riding the Hunter more, and primarily because I have less tolerance for discomfort than probably you do. I like being on a comfortable motorcycle. The XSR is not comfortable, especially if you're not on smooth roads. If you have smooth roads, you want a fastish sort of motorcycle, nothing like it. It's a lovely looking bike. It will be solidly reliable. That platform is proven. There's a lot going for it, but the state of mind that you are in is important. If you want that relaxed bike and you don't want a Hunter 350 because your brother has one, look at a Bullet 350. I mean, that
Yeah,
could
the
be a,
BS Bullet is actually pretty affordable.
it's a similar price. So just think about what kind of rider you are and that should give you your answer.
Okay, so next question. Is the Royal Enfield Scram 440 a good choice for touring with some off-road capability? My budget is rupees 3 lakh. Please also suggest other suitable options.
I think, Azman, you should really take that one.
Okay, so the Scram 440, it's a nice bike. It has good character, but again, the other motorcycles in the segment which you're looking at are going to be the Scrambler 350 and the Yazdi Scrambler, out of which I would suggest you can blindly go for the Triumph Scrambler 350 because it's a really sorted bike compared to the 400 engine. It's a very, very, very refined motor, and in fact, when you're doing highway commutes, it feels even less stress than the 400cc engines.
So when we got the Scram 440 in for review, you did the story. I was surprised by how old the bike felt. And old in terms of chassis, it wasn't a very, it felt like it was flexing and it just, the brakes weren't great. And if you're, looking for that very old school sort of riding experience and your idea of touring is to sit at a calm 70, 80, 90 kilometers an hour.
Honestly, even 100 was pretty doable because it's got a 6th gear now.
It does. But it's an old school feeling motorcycle, and I suppose that's part of the charm of the Scram 440. The Triumph 350 was a surprise. I never really much cared for the 400.
I didn't expect that either.
He owns a 400 and he loves the 400 for what it has to offer. But I think the 350 is a better highway bike. It's a smoother bike, easier to live with.
More usable,
Yeah, and it just about comes in under your budget. On road, it'll be a little more than 3, right?
Yeah, just about. No, I think, just a little about.
Yeah,
just a little.
But it's worth a stretch, and in that segment, that's the one we recommend. Okay, next question, and I like this question because I can sense the excitement of the person sending it in to us. I'm 22 and I'm planning to buy my first bike mainly for city commuting with strong pillion comfort as a priority. I already have a 15-year-old Honda Shine in my family that is reliable, but my parents have encouraged me to buy something better than basic commuter bikes. Cool parents. And they've even offered financial help. Very cool parents. Initially, I shortlisted the TVS Raider and the Hero Glamour, but I'm concerned with long-term service of TVS and Hero. I also looked at some higher segment motorcycles like the Hunter 350 and the Ronin, but I'm confused about whether it's worth saving money on the 125s or go for the bigger motorcycles. It's an interesting question, and you have lots of options today as a young person. I think it wasn't really this interesting in the affordable motorcycle space maybe 5, 10 years ago. So that's a nice thing for you. Our go-to in that space is the TVS Raider. It is the oldest motorcycle in that space, but it's just a wonderful all-rounder in the fact that it's very easy to ride. It's got a peppy engine that makes a good sound, so it's entertaining to ride. It's really fuel efficient, and pillion comfort is a priority for you, which is why definitely the Raider over the Extreme 125. With the bigger motorcycles, you don't want to go too big, but you'd be all right with a 350cc Royal Enfield. It's not a extremely quick motorcycle. It is a little heavy. Even the Hunter's 180 kilos. So if you're not comfortable with managing that, look at something smaller, and that's where the Ronin comes in. The Ronin is a very understated motorcycle. I'm not a fan of the way it looks, but it is a really nice bike to ride in the city. It's smooth, refined. Again, all TVSs make a good sound somehow. And yeah, I would say pick between those two TVSs based on your budget. The Ronin will definitely have lower fuel efficiency. The Raider's fuel efficiency will make you very happy, that's for sure. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think similar to what Rishad said, but when it comes to ride comfort out of all, I would say the Hunter does a great job. Like Rishad said, only if you're used to that, the bulk of that motorcycle, because at the end of the day, it is a heavy motorcycle, even though it is compact.
Especially with the pillion, you'll feel the weight even more.
Yeah, but considering what they've done with the suspension in the latest update, that is also worth checking out for sure.
I think go with the Raider. We're in a time of expensive fuel, things like that. You're young, save the money, enjoy life elsewhere. You will enjoy the Raider. All right, I think we've got time for one last question. Dinshaw, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, for sure. I want to purchase a scooter and I'm confused between TVS and Suzuki. I'm assuming that means the Jupiter and the Access. My priority is a comfortable ride in both city and highway conditions. I need good suspension to handle bumpy roads and a comfortable riding position. Mileage is not a concern and neither are looks, pickup or power. Very practical person. I usually ride at speeds between 40 to 50 and I'm not looking for a sporty ride. Please suggest as I'm confused between the Jupiter, Access, Ntorq and Avenus. That's interesting. Honestly, I would say end your search right after Jupiter and Access. Pick between these two. These are the two best-selling scooters in India and for good reason. The Jupiter in its latest avatar especially, it's very, very hard to fault. Honestly, the only thing I can fault it for is for not having ABS, which the Access does. If safety is a priority for you, pick the top two variants of the Access. They come with ABS, which is important, especially so on a scooter with smaller wheels that can get upset by braking forces quite easily. The only caveat to bear in mind is that while the Jupiter is slightly more comfortable, both the Jupiter and Access are actually very comfortable. For a taller person, I find the Access's riding position to be quite nice because the handlebar is set a little taller. When you're making lock-to-lock U-turns or just maneuvering through the city, the Access is a little bit easier than the Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter has more practicality and convenience. That boot is really something. If you carry a lot of stuff with you, no one in the petrol scooter space is giving you such a open, large boot. So that is a good appeal. But the appeal of the Suzuki is just its solid reliability and its engine.
The butter smooth engine. I mean, 10 to 90 kph, there is just no vibration. I love the Suzuki 125 engine.
So you own an Access 125. I've got one in my family as well. And it's a very safe bet. If you don't need the Access practicality, go for the Access because it gives you a little more performance and it's super smooth in the latest avatar. And ABS is a nice thing to have. So go for that one.
And one thing I want to add in this is that considering you've spoken specifically about ride comfort, I would also suggest just test riding the Destiny because that does have really, really impressive ride quality.
Yeah,
I know it's not on par in the other segments, but in terms
other
of
segments,
right.
in other criteria, I would say these two are
way above.
list.
But in terms of ride quality, since you mentioned, that's just another option you can check out as well.
That's true. The Destiny's ride comfort was quite nice, but just as an overall package, I think I'd lean towards the Access of the Jupiter.
Correct. No, just because he mentioned ride comfort, that's why I was
That's
just
true.
mentioning it's an option too.
All right, I think we're out of time, so we'll call it on this now. We get thousands of questions, tens of thousands of questions in a month, so we will do our best to answer them on one of our platforms for sure. But please do send in your requests. We'll pick up the ones that we can, especially the ones that stand out, and give you the answer the next time we're here.